Well, you single out Malfina, who is the housekeeper, the
Hmm.
feline housekeeper. She and the reason why you focus on it is that everybody comes in, ask you ask the questions, they leave, but she sort of keeps hanging around under the guise of, oh, you want more tea or more ale, or you want some sandwiches or something, right?
Hmm.
What have you. She seems to be very well. She's doing her job, of course, but a little too well.
Right.
That
She's being very attentive, and then when it's her turn to get questioned, she sits down and starts fidgeting.
or use it for excuses that I have to cook dinner or prepare your beds, or
Hmm.
being evasive. So Malfina is the one Malfina is the one you sort of narrow it and it's like
Hmm.
focus on.
Okay, so I mean, I'm still offering those. I'm still offering those reassurances to her. It's like, you're not in trouble. Nothing bad will happen. I'm just looking for the bottom of this mystery. If you have anything you could possibly tell me, you can trust me. I'm your best friend. Look, we're even drinking tea together right now.
You're gonna have to roll again,
Yeah, so,
make it good.
yeah,
It's
and,
gonna it's gonna be in a post roll, by the way.
yeah, and I would say this is definitely a presence kind of role to me, not like necessarily poking them on the questions themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I roll presence, that's going to be 2d8, and I suppose this is still will, right?
Yes.
3d8, and I maybe would like to go with nobility again for this and say, look, I'm a noble and honorable sort. My station would never permit me to do something so terrible as to betray a friend. So, if that's okay, I'll roll the d12 with it. There we
Oh
go. So
yeah.
we have
You,
sevens and nines versus their six.
yeah, you beat there by three, and if you had a lower, you would have actually had a crit. So
Hmm.
yeah, she kind of she kind of breaks down, says, you know, I and kind of looks over her shoulder. I don't think I can speak about anything happening untoward in the castle right now, but perhaps later. Uh, because when I'm less busy.
Oh, of course. You're
Uh,
simply so busy. I believe you mentioned dinner earlier too. If you have a place and time you'd like to meet, I would be glad to see you then.
of course, I'll be ready and able after dinner. I'm sure. I have to get the kitchen staff.
Wonderful,
Uh,
wonderful. And where should
trained.
we meet?
Oh, I'll test the kitchen. I'll be fine. That we can.
And oh, of course, of course. See, I'm so glad we've become such close friends so quickly. And I'd love to talk to a friend again. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And
So
she
maybe
sort of and so she leaves. Uh, you get a dinner, and of course you get
Hmm.
species appropriate dinner for those who are omnivores. You get a mix of things. If you're carnivores, you
Right, they
get
got a
some of
salad,
the
they have
meat.
a meat
Yeah,
dish, everything's fine.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
Um,
probably during this time, I would hope that Spencer and Vesper would come and just like, I guess, tap in. That depends on the rain, I suppose.
yeah, it is raining quite a bit. It's
Hmm.
tempering out, um, but it may temper out by later in the night. But right now it's no thunder, but it's still the rain, sort of the last bits of the rain. Uh, Dinner goes fine,
Hmm.
unless you want to do something during dinner because the Baron is going to be there.
Uh,
Um,
Aside from perhaps just putting on my best face and making friends with everyone, I'm a fun, sociable noble who has no job other than being told to go around and talk to people. And I have plenty of stories about the road here. It's like, oh, these wonderful people that I've seen, these places.
and yeah, and again, you would think that uh, no none of these squires. You think that one of the things is that if you have squires, they are of noble birth, or
Hmm.
at least adjacent to noble. So if a dinner with dignitaries would be something that they want to show up to.
Right, but none of
None
them
of them are there.
have. How
Oh,
weird.
no. Uh, Even though the Baron said that he would try to fetch them, right?
Hmm.
Um, but they're not there. So dinner passes, and outside of the kitchen, and you see Malfina sort of wagging the finger to one of the rabbit staff, several white hairs. It's like saying something, but in a low voice that it doesn't bother anybody else. And she says, "Yes, mistress." And she sort of washing sort of her hands, in an apron. It's like, well, sire, my lord,
Of course.
I worry about Master Felix. He's he's um he's he's been going on and out of odd hours, been gone for days really, um, which is strange. He's simply so attentive to the Baron, um, as it is his duty.
I
I don't know
see.
what he's doing, but um, he is a lovely young boy, well, young man, and he has had a reputation in the past of being a bit wayward, doing rather pranks here and there. No, nothing serious, but always, of course, the Baron being there to help him um, out of sticky situations. And it seems
Mhm.
that in the last year or so, he was really shaping up, taking his new, uh, you know, uh, role seriously as a scribe for the Baron. But now, I mean, you cannot write, and if you're not here to do it, I suppose. So I'm sorry. That's all I know. If he's in some kind of trouble, then uh, I wish that he would, you know, find his right way home again.
Well, I should hope. I should hope he's not in any trouble, but I know at least my priest friend who's come with me would certainly love to set him upon the right path if he's strayed so far.
Mhm.
Uh, but you do say he disappeared much of the time. Is he friends with other people in the village? Do they meet somewhere, maybe?
Well, he just squires, and she says that as a
Yes.
like. I suppose that's the correct name.
I suppose
I
they are
wouldn't call
grouped
them
all
that.
together, yes.
Yes, they spend quite a bit of time together and train together and the like. Uh, that mostly they're friends. That's who he uh, hangs around with, pals around with, I suppose.
Hmm.
They do all kinds of pranks and the like back in the day, but they mostly grown up out of it.
But I suppose they still meet together somewhere. Would you happen to know if that's in town?
Usually here,
Usually here?
yeah,
Hmm. But they're not here now.
which is not that strange. Now that I
Hmm.
come think about it. Hmm. And she gets a pensive look, like, oh, wait a minute, what? Huh? There's something missing, but I'm not getting it. But
Right. Still, I'm
uh, uh,
gracious for all the information that you provided me.
right, my lord. And I hope you settle this thing as quickly as possible. The Lord Baron was very much upset with the whole dispute. He settled down mostly now, of course. Has months to cool down, but still, we worried about him. He is a good man after all.
Certainly not the type to be retributive at all.
Well, not without cause, I suppose.
Hmm. Well, still, I'm glad that he's kept his temper about things, but if the younger ones can't, well, I suppose they deserve a talking to. Again, I thank you again for your honesty and candidacy, even if we need to meet a little bit on the side. If there's anything else you would ever wish to tell me, please, you're free to meet me at any time, and I will give you audience.
And you say that, and she kind of looks at you, and it's like, apparently she blushes a little bit, like,
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm even hamming it up. I'm taking her hand, I'm bowing a little bit, and it's like, my lady, and I'll just
like,
leave a good impression.
uh, yes, yes. Well, I have to go back and finish up
Oh, of
preparing
course, of course.
the balance. Yes, bath. Have a good evening, my lord. And she
You as
gives
well,
a big
Melfina.
but that's a bit of a curtsy, and uh, So as you get in information, processing the information, we go back to Spencer and Vesper
Yeah.
out in the unrepentant mare. Um, and yeah, it's a very lively place. Again, most of the breeds here, most of the species are of the working class, right? You have your hares, you have your well, some hares anyway. You have rats. You have this is a very mixed community, right?
Right.
But you haven't seen any foxes, uh, and or lions, or and the few felines that you see are just house cats, right? Um, so you're gonna do again. What's gonna be your approach? You're gonna go back to doing gossip, or you're trying to find someone and do an inquiry. Just gonna wait. What are you gonna do?
So
the rain is letting down a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, so it's been a few hours and no one has returned. Spencer, I would suggest that since you maybe you should go since they went to the palace and didn't come back, they probably were granted audience. Maybe you should go up there and find out what they know, and I can just stay here.
Very well.
Yeah, because
Sounds
I'm
like
more
a
than
plan.
happy to. I mean, my character's genuinely happy to be doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll just go ahead, and so you know where to find me. And once again, you don't have any of the more advanced stuff. You just are both an apprentice thaumaturge and apprentice cognoscenti.
Yes.
All right, well that's good. Why don't we take a moment for prayer?
If you insist.
I do, which also doesn't do anything, but we do it anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Peace be with you.
And Spencer, you hurry up to this. Let me see. I'm gonna do a roll. Okay. So it's a couple of minutes at most to go to the manor, right? It's just outside of town. It doesn't take long, and you reach there, and the guard to you, I know so and so. It's the Lord who's visiting. It's like shit, fine, and they let you in, and you meet Gregory as he's sort of coming out of the side of the kitchens, apparently pondering something or other. So you meet. See.
So match pace them, and then, excuse me, in mind speak, he'll just go over what he's learned with Vesper, and let him know what we found out from the locals. What little we did.
Well, 2 and 2 is coming together. Spencer,
Yes.
go talk to Dax over there. Have him and see if you two can see where these foxes have gone, and make sure they don't leave the city. And if they do, come to tell us immediately.
You want me to ask him where the foxes have gone?
Search with them.
Oh. Very well. He will bow out and then go over to where Dax is sitting.
Where Dax happens to be hanging out, mostly with the servants, I suppose, near the kitchen or wherever, right? Dax, you do notice again, Malfina, because you basically hang in the kitchen. Everybody's been ignoring you because you're just sort of, just a retainer of some sort. That once she talks to Gregory, almost like she has like sighs, like she took a great weight off her shoulder, but also maybe a slightly romantic sigh as well, right? And she just sits down and she's just sort of looking at a distance and see some of the rabbit servants sort of like giggling, right? And she seems to be rather on her own world, right? But you did notice, just like Gregory did, that she was very nervous about the whole situation. In fact, you probably closed the door that you heard the conversation talking about this Felix fellow, right? So now if you want to ask around, probably be a good time.
Yeah. So is this before Spencer has shown up?
Yes, Spencer is talking outside with Griffin, and so you have this, Melfina came in, and you're in the kitchen just hanging around because that's usually what servants do when there's nowhere else. You should end up in the kitchen, and so yeah, you have that opening.
Yeah. Okay, great. Do you mean to speak to her, or have an opening to speak to any of this
Anybody?
kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been hanging around for a couple of times, hours, and they're basically just cleaning up and making sure that everything's ready to everybody to go to sleep. So yeah, they're winding down basically. And you spend enough time with them that they're basically just kind of like part of the furniture. You're the manservant or whatever it is that these people brought with them, because that's what nobles do. They bring people on to do their chores. So
Yeah, so I'd like to approach someone, and on that topic, I'd like to speak to Master Felix. As a manservant, I have a few questions about our arrangements here, and I'd like to track him down. Does anybody know where he is?
you see, one of the rabbits turns around. It's like, well, he left earlier.
Oh, he left for on an errand, or he left town?
Well, he left the manor as soon as you came in.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he had his mount prepared, and he rode off.
Oh. Any idea what type of errand when we could expect him back?
Out. Master Felix doesn't discuss those things with me, so I would never know that. But he was heading to town.
Is this a normal occurrence, or does he frequently?
He comes and goes.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do an inquiry, mind inquiry if you want, or will inquiry if you want to sort of follow that line of questioning.
Sure.
Oh, that's a pretty good one, yeah. I mean, as of late, he has been leaving for days at a time. It's like 2 weeks ago, he was actually missing for an entire week. And then he came back, and like nothing happened. I suppose that he's doing some errands for the Baron.
Yeah, of course, he must. It's so interesting that he would travel alone, though. It is just himself.
Sometimes he's hanging out with the other foxes, but not as much as lately.
The other foxes. You mean the squires, the young boys?
Squires, yes, the squires. And when you say the squires, it's like, yeah, the squires, right? It's like I suppose that's what they are, right?
Would you not refer to them as squires under usual circumstances?
I would never. I mean to say that they certainly they've been trained. The Baron has had the men on train them, and I'm sure one day they will make fine knights somewhere, someone. But when they were younger, they were pretty troublesome. Those foxes. They straighten up a bit, as long as Master Felix is done as well. But you know how boys are, or kids in their case. They just,
Of course. Do they stay here in the manor, or do they live in town?
they stay here. The squires out. They're under the care of the Baron.
Oh, okay. Perhaps I'll inquire with them about where Master
Felix
has gone off to, and if I can expect him back shortly, or if it
Felix
be...
the Fox. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there quarters near here, or would they normally be still training at this hour?
Well, there's a barracks. They stay in the barracks.
Of course. Thank you so much for your help.
And you notice that there's sort of it's not strictly a castle, but has almost all the attributes of a castle, including the fact that it has a barracks building and has places for mounts and for training for archery. So it would be a building that's adjacent to the wall, not part of the. That's where the men at arms are and stuff like that. that's where they
There's
stay.
yeah, so I'm about to turn to leave. One last question, though. Does Master Felix himself also stay in the barracks, or does he have chambers here?
He stays here. He always stayed here since he was a wee kid. Yes.
Oh, I see. Were his family, his parents, servants, and he grew up here in the band?
Well, I wasn't really here when young Master Felix came into the home, but as far as I know, he's all alone in the world. The Baron took him in, and saw something in him, I suppose.
That was very generous of the Baron.
Yeah, he Baron himself, his wife died a few years back, and actually, she was the Baroness. He became Baron by marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So she passed away, no children. Although Felix was already here by that time. I suppose that maybe she couldn't. I shouldn't presume that he was already here.
I understand. Thank you.
I must get going and prepare the beds. You can stay here if you want. There's the larder still has some dry meats if you try. If you're hungry. I know the lords usually don't think about those things, but you can help yourselves. There's plenty of it.
Thank you.
Sort of walks away, and by the time Alphena's also walked away, stuff like that, and Spencer and Gregory have finished the conversation. So if you want to again come back together, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'll go join the two of them.
Dax, there you are.
Excellent.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Well, I think I know who our suspects are, and I'd like you to see if you can find out where they are and if they're still in town. Of course,
yes.
to make sure that they don't leave. If they do, you should definitely fetch Harmon and I.
Right. Spencer, do you want to...
You included the fact that what you saw when you first went out of the church, right?
I'm sorry, who are you asking?
Spencer. You did include in your mind reading.
Oh yeah, about those guys we saw outside of church. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry, I might have been out for that. What guys did you see outside of church?
Don't describe them.
Basically, there were three, bipeds. They had cloaks, and he saw them under the rain, so he wasn't really got a look at them. But he tried to follow them, and at least one of them was clever enough or able enough to spot him, try to shout at him. And when that happened, they lost him in town.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to town, right? And this happened at the time where you guys were talking to the Baron and starting to get set up the interviews. So it happened simultaneously.
So yes, Dax, I trust you and Spencer to handle this task, and to not put yourself too far into harm's way if you have to.
Of course.
Very well.
Then I await your report again, and I will find a nice, pleasant wine to sit down with. Harmon, are you still not drinking?
Still not drinking.
What a shame. I'll drink one for you as well then. But maybe you'll have some fun tonight anyway.
Okay, so now we arranged the chairs a little bit. Harmon and Gregory are still in the manor.
Mm-hmm.
Our Vesper is in the tavern, and Dax and Spencer are going to go to town to see if they can track these individuals. See if they haven't, skedaddled out of town. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's on the way, because I'd be curious to see if any of the foxes are there in the barracks. Just on the way into town.
Oh, you pick in. Nope, they're not there.
Yeah.
And you see one of the mounts. It's gone. Not all of them, just one. Which fits with what you heard about, Felix taking him out and going in the direction of town.
Yep.
even though it's pretty close, so walking wouldn't be much of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he can do that, well, you know that. So you go down to the town. By this time, the rain has stopped. Most of the places are kind of muddy. The central thoroughfare, as it is, the town village is kind of muddy. Most establishments are closed, except of course for the mayor. And what is your approach? Are you gonna just go in building by building? Are you gonna go try to ask people? What are you trying to do?
I'd say, Spencer, if you're not opposed, let's go get a drink.
Yes, that sounds like a lovely plan.
Cool. So we're gonna look, ideally, the seediest tavern.
So the unrepentant mayor, which is the inn and tavern, the one inn and tavern on this. So you basically meet up with Vesper.
Okay.
Vesper, you basically is very lively because you're clergy. They're very much happy to serve you. Right? They're happy to see a member of the clergy here. So the you have to pay for your drinks. But which, by the way, we haven't done actually buying or selling of anything. So I think, how much would a drink be?
Well, of course I drank.
Yeah.
Spirits to lift our own. A toast to the fine people of Northwind.
And people join you in the toast. Are you trying to use this moment for more gossiping and or probing, or simply are waiting for someone else?
I should probably wait until Spencer and Gregory get back so they made more headway. The only thing we've discovered is that Felix might be up to no good. And I am not the type of person who gets into trouble. More so, I'm asking the people if their spiritual needs are being met. And, I'm here to help everyone. Be friendly.
Right, there's a greater crisis occurring, right? Right, everybody?
And I don't have an allowance from Sir Gregory, so I can't buy a round for everyone on his dime.
Yeah, basically, people are concerned about the rain. People, again, the greater concerns such as there might be another rainy season, which means another round of flooding. If that happens, people also worry about the older folk in the village that might get sick. There were some sicknesses last year, nothing serious. The local clergy was able to take care of it, but with some folk remedying the lack. But still, people are worried that maybe grandma or grandpa won't make it up this year if it goes as badly as last year. And there's also a bit of grumbling about the fact that the people in the south have access to the mine, and that mine means work and it means money, even though it might not mean you can't eat either iron or silver directly, but at least you can buy stuff with it, hopefully, right? And there's a bit of resentment about that.
So people are resenting that many of their able-bodied workers left the farms to go work on the mines.
Yes.
Okay, I can understand that.
And that that the Shadowcross is growing, perhaps eventually will be growing at the expense of Northwind.
And so this town, it's surrounded by farms. We were wondering if there was actually a riverside or any sort of port, but apparently there is not. We're just in the forested hills, right?
About a day or so, you're closer to the coast than you were in Shadowcross. You went north and I said northwest, but really you went northeast. So you're closer to it. If you were to walk about a day or so, maybe a little less, you could hit the coast. Remember, this island.
Right, but this is not a port city, which is which is unusual because usually you build them on the coast.
Yes. This is more of a town that grew around the manor. Right, the manor came first, and then the town grew around it as servants and other people came in. The serfs came in and started serving.
Did they build the manor here because it's a large defensible point that doesn't flood?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
And remember, while there's a lot of coast, not all the coast is good. Has good places you can build a large port, right?
Right. Like I was
villages.
assuming. Like I'll ask them about, is it like a rocky coast or is it just cliffs? I mean, there could be many reasons why there's not a landing post there.
That would be a mine observation or mine gossip if you're going to take the
Yeah, it's not an observation because I can't see it from.
Yeah. So I'll gossip then. No, you don't meet
But
anybody.
apparently, I was too drunk to ask.
Yeah, or basically you don't meet any fishermen, so people they shrug their shoulders, they just point in the general direction of the coast, out east. So if you want to find out, you have to go over there. Yeah. They don't, it's not, people are very provincial. They stick around no more than 10 or 20 miles from.
We're in the inn. My favorite use kicks in. Because we're okay. I still don't get a success, but at least it's not
you're getting pretty drunk. So yeah.
Yeah, but my favorite use is when we're at the table.
Yeah.
Oh well. So much for that. At least the locals are friendly.
Yeah, they're pretty friendly. You do find that a lot of they were, and there is in fact a shall we say, a church here. Not everybody seems to be very extremely, shall we say, comfortable when you talk about religion, right? Some people are like, okay, every so often you make a hand signal, or you talk about, in sort of, with something, a religious tint to it, right? A phrase or something like that, and not everybody's comfortable with that. They don't get upset. They don't seem to get angry. But you get that those looks like, oh, this is like when your very religious aunt at Thanksgiving goes the extra mile and says something extra when everybody's doing grace, right?
Well, that's why I'm trying. I'm also more of the be friendly, and I'm not the hardcore doctrine type. So that might also explain.
I mean, yeah, but you're still a person of the cloth, and therefore it's sort of part of who you are. That somebody gives you a drink, and do a blessing, something like that. And whenever you do that, some people feel uncomfortable with that. Not a lot, not enough for them to get up into your face or anything like that. But you get those looks, right? That's what he started doing for anybody. Yeah. And so you notice that, and this is where Spencer and Dax come in. As you are,
I'll politely excuse myself so I can go speak with my friends, and I guess we'll take everybody aside. So, what news do you have?
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
That dire, huh?
Sorry, I'm trying to recall my memories being even worse today because I'm not feeling too good, so it's distracting me here.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So I assume that Gregory has made inroads.
Yes. And we've found some things out. You, of course, remember those men we tried to follow.
Yes. What about them?
We're thinking of tracking them down, Dax and I.
I second the emotion. People here haven't been forthcoming and speaking very freely about them, but most people here are mostly concerned about their own provincial interests, which is to be expected. Not a lot of high opinions about the mine.
Really?
It's lured away a lot of the locals, and the old people have a tendency to, of course, understand the youth. But I can there's no there's no love here for the mine. So yes, perhaps those locals might become involved with it. I would second. What is your plan to go ahead and pursue them? Like I said, I've lamented the fact that none of us are skilled woods people.
Well, it seems that the leader, their ring is the Master Felix. So if we can find him, I'm sure we can find the young squires, so to speak. So we came down here to see if anyone might know where we could find him.
Well, he's not here, but he does have relatives in town.
Does he? What relatives?
So, well, I don't know what the address is, but this town isn't that large. I suppose we knocked on enough doors, you might be able to find out which one was his.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think maybe let's start here and start.
I mean, the issue is he's not here, and he also snuck out earlier, so it might be that his house is currently abandoned.
Well, I when Dax asked about where he lived, I told them that it was he lived in the manor.
Yeah, I know he lives in the manor. I'm talking about asking around.
Yeah, in Gregory's words, he must meet somewhere with them other than the barracks.
But saying that Felix has maybe has a house or something in the town.
Okay. I mean, I would suggest you should confront Felix. I agree with this plan.
Okay. Then yeah, I'd like to.
Do you want me to come with you, or do you want me to stay here and be, watching the locals?
Well, I'm going to engage with the locals because I'm going to.
Okay. Feel free to engage. So. Did you bring money? Because there's wine to be had.
That sounds awesome. Yes.
By the way,
excellent. Everyone, my friends have brought money. I've gone here to come celebrate with us. Break open a new cask. I'll say, slapping Spencer and Dax on the back.
Somebody is already for Vesper's prodigious drinking 2 denarii already for that. If you want to do more, especially for more people, you have to spend 2 more. So already.
Yeah, that's 1 each. That's easy. You both have a denarii, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. It's for the greater good. Fill your glasses and then empty them again. Let us celebrate, eat, drink, and be merry.
So I want. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dax. Yeah.
I want to start a rumor or kind of go around and say that I have an urgent message. I need to find Master Felix. I have an urgent message from the manor that I need convey to him, but it must be in person. So I want to inquire of the tavern if anyone has any information on where has he been seen, where does he hang out, how can I find him?
Roll.
I could assist you with that if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay. What am I rolling for this?
It would be will and either inquiry.
Okay. Can I use the deceit additionally since it's a lie?
You're
okay.
gonna need it, yeah.
I didn't assist you, but I also didn't botch. You didn't need it.
Yeah, 2 successes. Okay. You start asking around. Most people don't know anything, but you do notice that one of the assistants of the bartender, right, the inn owner, as you're talking around, they duck, and you notice because it's they're not just simply going out and out of the kitchen or getting out of the kitchen. They basically sort of duck out of the way to go somewhere, and not be seen. But you notice this, right? Essentially, you didn't get a direct answer, but your questions sparked this reaction, and that's what you notice.
Okay.
So they seem to be heading out to the back.
Yeah, I'd like to follow him stealthily.
Go ahead.
Okay. What am I rolling for this? Is there a follow or something?
That will be. Do you have stealth?
Yeah, I have stealth.
So I think that would be body stealth, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think it's body speed and stealth. Let me look up the
body speed stealth. Yeah.
Okay. Speed.
Oh yeah. So you follow him, and he's going for the wine cellar.
Okay.
And when he gets to the door, he doesn't see you. He's sort of focused on sort of his task. He sort of does like a sort of a secret knock. Somebody opens the door, partly, he relays a message quickly.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay, so you hear kind of a voice, but from here it's kind of difficult to hear exactly what they're saying because you don't want to be spotted. It's like, fine. And they kind of slam the door close. And when he turns around to go up, you sort of duck, right? And he basically just sort of goes back to his work, but he completely misses you because you become like a shadow, right? It's like this guy is so busy on doing what he does that he misses you completely. So basically you saw him, and he went down to the cellar and went to a door, knocked on the door. Somebody came in, said something. They had a conversation, and he left. And that was triggered by your question.
Okay. I want to go talk to Spencer. Not to our good priest friend because he's deep in his cups, and I'm going to let him keep entertaining the crowd. But Spencer, I'm going to pull you aside, and I'm going to say that I've been spreading it around that I'm trying to reach Master Felix. One of the people who work here.
Yes.
Immediately took that message down, knocked on a door to the cellar to convey secretly that this information is happening. So I'm going to step outside and survey the building to see if there's another way out from the cellar. Do you like to join me? Would you like to keep an eye on the cellar door?
I'll keep an eye on the cellar from in here.
Okay.
This would probably also be a good time to let Vesper in, just so he could send a message if you wanted.
If you give me something special of yours, I could contact you as soon as I saw somebody, no matter how far apart we were.
Okay. I don't know what stuff I have on me.
A tuft of fur would suffice.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah. I'll pull out a tuft of fur.
By the way, I think it's a good callback to this. Does everybody knows you can do this, right? Or is that something you're so informed?
I just asked him if he could do anything like that, and he said no. It's a good thing
I can't mind speak. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
If I misunderstood your question, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
I mean this because this would be a good idea to do one of our flashbacks where
that's right. We have
perhaps Harmon or Gregory, you already have something out of them, so you can communicate.
I know well what the thaumaturges do. I paid attention to at least that much, and I know you must have some kind of what was the term again? Synecdote. Synodote? There you go. That word. Yes, I'll remember that absolutely. Probably. But you need something of mine, don't you?
Yes. Like the tuft of fur or your favorite something or other.
Well, I think the simplest thing, other than, I don't want to cut my hair. It's too beautiful, you see. So I am going to give you my handkerchief. It was a gift from my father, and I use it quite frequently for impressing others. It's very dear to me. Please keep it safe. And I might actually need it back at some point.
This happened. This is something that we're going back in time to.
Yeah, so that's definitely the use of like my flashback or Spencer's. So there you go. I have laid the groundwork.
And aside to the audience, it's like, okay, why is he doing this? Well, for simplicity's sake, because having people coming back and forth, like, oh, you got to go to the castle and do this and do that.
At some point, we got to get a cell phone, but
yeah. Okay, that's a good one, Harmon. So yeah, your Spencer is guarding the front door, and Dax is gonna go dash around and see if there's anything outside. Okay. As Dax goes outside, you don't see anybody, but you do see that the cellar has one of these again inclined doors, which is a double door thing where they set so people can come in and deliver whatever drinks directly to the cellar as opposed to that. And you get close enough that you know it's not padlocked has no lock or anything like that, so somebody could just easily open it up and come out, right? The best thing it has basically is like a water tank, right? You could drop it, but clearly it's up to allow anybody who's inside to open it up easily.
Okay. If I get close to that, can I hear anything inside?
You can try.
Okay.
So that, yeah.
What am I rolling?
That would be a mind.
Okay.
I believe it's observation. Yes.
One observation.
Are you trying to do it stealthily as well?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to not let anybody know I'm here. Does that mean I add the stealth die?
Yeah, I've added.
Okay.
You clearly hear voices inside and people like moving stuff, like they're like putting things in maybe in boxes or putting them away. And it's like, come on, let's go. Getting ready perhaps to either clean up or leave or some way.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I'm going to. I want to find somewhere in the shadows and just be ready for when they come out that door.
You probably can go across the street in an alley, right? And watch from there. You can get a good sight of what you're. Do you have night sight? You have night vision?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem, right? Because it's at night, and you have the off lamp or something like that. But these alleys don't have any lights.
Yeah, it's weird. Cheetahs are day cats.
Yeah. So you would either have to find a place where you'll be illuminated, but yeah, the reason why you found it is because you were literally following the building, so it was there. I call it a night call. Yeah, but it would be difficult for you to see. You could probably hear. How's your hearing? That makes sense.
Can I stay hidden even if it's dark, but just be close enough that I'll hear the door open?
Yeah, but that means you also run the risk of them discovering you much easier, right?
Yeah.
So your risk reward. You certainly could hear open the door if it opens. Close enough they can hear. Then that would be good.
Okay.
So do another stealth.
Okay.
Because I have to roll against that.
Just to check, it's just the stealth die or dice, or it's anything else.
The same roll you did with when you were following the guy.
Okay, I think that was body and speed also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a 7 and 2 4s. Okay. Let's say it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and they're.
Can I just as a quick question before anything happens? Spencer, your ability, through having this stuff, that means you can communicate to me, right? I can't communicate to you.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to check. Otherwise, I would have tried to send you a message. Okay.
You could probably just step back into the tavern for a second, poke him, and then head back out.
Throw a rock in the window, pebble against the window.
Yeah, you got a 7, so yeah, no matter what, and you got 2 more. Yeah, you certainly could beat them. Anyway, you couldn't have a 6. So yeah, about 15 minutes later, the doors open, and it said cloaked figures come out. 4 of them. One of them seems to be carrying like a backpack, and they look around. They nearly spot. You can almost feel their eyes cover where you're hidden, right? And so you can hear them talking. It's like, come on, let's go. And they just book it out. They close the door, put the plank down, and book it into the night. They're not following the road. They're just going to the nearest woods. Actually, they're heading east, not west. East.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to follow.
Okay. So you're following them. How close are you following them? They're on foot. You're on foot. So
Yeah.
And it is dark.
Yeah, I'd need to. I want to say as far away as I can, but I need to either be able to see or hear them. So
you need to hear them,
yeah, whatever distance that is.
You're fairly close. They're not running, right? So that makes it easier. but they seem to be, going at a fairly good clip, and it's taking a while, right? It's, you thought it could be 5-10 minutes, 20 minutes pass, 30 minutes, about an hour 45, and about around the close to the second hour.
Are you guys just still drinking in there in the tavern? Sorry, it must be in the.
You start hearing the sounds of the sea.
Okay.
But the thing is there's the clouds are parted and it's only starlight. Barely you can see that if they were just simply to continue to walk, it just feels like they would just go off a cliff. So where they're going, but you're hearing the sounds. They have to go somewhere specific down here, and they kind of, you see vaguely in the distance, and you can see it because there's a light. It seems to be like a cottage or some kind, with a sort of maybe a lamp turned on inside, and they sort of veer in that direction and they go in there. Here, the good thing about it here the grass is getting taller. Right, nobody has farm here, so it's a near cliff face. It's a tall grass that makes it easier for you to hide, but it also makes it, the reason why you can hear them is because you can hear them sort of shuffling through the grass, right? That's why you can track them. Otherwise, you would have lost them. But it also makes it easier for you to hide. Closer to the cottage, which seems in disrepair, really. The tall grass end. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go out of the tall grass, and there's now light. Not a lot of light, but the closer you get, the much easier for you to see them, but also they would spot you as well.
There could be dark type Pokemon in the grass.
Sorry, what?
I just said there could be dark type Pokemon in the grass.
So there's a light. So are they going towards or into a building?
They go into a building. You notice it's a building because you can see that there's at least one land. We have, okay, let's focus on this.
Are we live again?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We are.
Okay.
Dax, you are at the back entrance of the. Well, now clearly you can see in the starlight a dilapidated cottage near the sea, and you can smell the sea air, and you can hear at the distance the waves crashing in. What are you going to do?
So I don't hear anything from inside the cottage, right?
Nope. You heard the click of the lantern go off, maybe somebody moving some things inside, and nothing.
Yeah. We're right close to the edge of the cliff. Is that right?
Well, you're close enough to hear the ocean, so yeah.
Okay. There's no light inside the building.
No. Whoever came in, they came in and turned off the light, and that's it.
Question, Spencer, with your magic thing, are you able to just send a message to me, or can you figure out where I am?
I would need the locating spell to figure out where you were.
Okay.
That's the thaumaturgy. Meanwhile, the speaking is the cognoscenti arts. I'm being very diverse here.
The cognoscenti speaking, it's just a one-way message?
Yes.
Okay.
Until he hasn't learned how to do it two-way yet. He could eventually learn it, but he hasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Still useful, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all this way out here.
Well, you have accomplished your goal. As a spy, of course, you want to gather as much information as you can, and then make sure other people learn it. So, don't knock on their door, I guess.
No, I'm not gonna knock.
Yeah.
But I might go in, or I might try to open a window. I think
the cottage is partly collapsed, so you can sort of wiggle in, maybe a wall, something like that. You're gonna, do your feline arts and sort of dislocate a shoulder or two and just go in.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't hear anybody in here. No breathing. Nothing.
Nothing.
All right. I want to search the ground for trapdoors or something. I feel like they probably went underground.
That is a good thing to do. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Am I rolling something? Or?
Yes, that would be mine and observation, I believe. Yeah. Okay. You do. In fact, the one room that is not completely collapsed on the floor, there is a trapdoor. And you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, because the dogs are running. I think that's enough information. I'm gonna head back to town.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So after Spencer, after a couple of hours, you haven't heard from Dax. You're like, they haven't come back. Nobody has come up to the front door. The sort of assistant to the bartender is just cleaning glasses, and people are getting, it's getting late and early now, going to early morning. People are getting ready to stumble out. Those who are drunk, including
early morning already. We were like barely evening before, weren't we?
Well, it took about nearly 2 hours to get to where they are, and
we're more the middle of the night, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like 2 a.m.
Yeah, and yeah,
send Dax a message saying he's going to this boarding house. I will see you there when you return.
This is also an inn. You can have rooms here.
Oh, well,
and also you were offered, at least the people who went to the manor were offered rooms in the manor as well.
Well, then that's where he'll stay. He's in the manor.
Okay.
He doesn't want to get robbed.
Good idea. So yeah, people just start, slowly but surely around midnight, the more drunk patrons start walking out, and some of them are hugging and singing and doing the kind of things that drunks do. Still plenty of people, but sort of the flow it changed from incoming people to now starting outcoming people, and that you get that message saying that they're going to be in the manor. So you probably arrive about 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe 2 at most, and you're let in. The guards sort of look at you like, well, it's pretty late for you to be out, but they have no reason not to stop you, right?
I just do, a shrug, and it's just like, when you're on an errand for your master, what can you do?
I go right in. Another kitty. And you come in. Is anybody awake to waiting for Dax, or
I'm gonna wake him up?
If Spencer came back and told us what was happening, I'm probably going to be taking a nap, and I've probably told Harmon that we'll want to be ready when we get the information, but probably to rest. So we'll need to be waking up, but I am ready and expecting this. I'm like, oh, Dax, you're back. Excellent.
You're mostly nocturnal, and you're probably getting not to get the sumis at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been up all day walking, so
yeah.
So I have to get a little bit nap, but I'm up, and I'm just like, this is when I feel best, in the middle of the night, when everyone else is away, and I'm lonely. Dang it!
I'm awake.
Awake.
Did you do something?
But yes, Dax. So you have what have you found?
Yeah, swing by the larder that I was, they were so generous to let me rate. I'm gonna rate it for a little bit of food and something to drink. A bottle of wine, something. But then, I'm going to try to find your quarters.
Yeah. So when you come in and I see you have like a drink, it's like, oh, you came prepared.
Yeah, it was a long night, man.
Yeah. So you'll probably like share directly like what you saw and everything.
Yeah.
Then I have no doubt that they plan to hide there, or either until we leave or until they're ready to strike out on their own plan. I think it's urgent that we go there immediately then and put an end to this. And if they've gone on from there, we must chase them.
I think if we can, we should take horses, but I don't know how to ride.
Right.
That is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I know. I guess, like, for better context, there are destriers. There are mounts, yes. Lizard-like things. And, of course, there's, several of them here on the estate.
But the problem is, does anyone actually have riding?
No.
No, sir.
So this is the worst idea ever.
Right, so I'm going to opt to not take the horse, but, I mean, I have lots of endurance. I can keep going for 2 whole hours without stopping. What about you guys?
I could try.
They're what? Destroyers and Corsairs, as they're called, right?
Yes.
There's
Right.
several. There's palfreys, there's roundseas.
Palfreys, yeah.
There's lots of them.
Yes.
Yeah, destroyers are the ones that will, like, throw you and then murder you.
Oh, right. Fighting.
Those are the war mounts that are all carnivorous and hate you.